Good morning, students. Today, let us continue 8th Standard English first lesson. In the last class, I have explained about some listening passage. I think all of you understood that and also wrote answers for the questions. Isn't it? Okay, let us move to the prose, a day in the ashram. Prose means gadya. Name of the prose is a day in the ashram. ಆಶ್ರಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ದಿನ. Before explaining about the prose, let us study about the author of the prose, C.F. Andrews. Here you can see the photography of the author C.F. Andrews. C.F. Andrews, Charles Freer Andrews, was an English priest of the Church of England. He was an educator and Indian freedom fighter. He became Mahatma Gandhi's closest friend and associate. Charles Freer Andrews, born in 1871. ಅವರು ಇಂಗ್ಲೆಂಡಿನ ಚರ್ಚಿನ ಒಬ್ಬ ಪ್ರೀಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದರು ಮತ್ತು ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಫ್ರೀಡಮ್ ಫೈಟರ್, ಭಾರತದ ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯ ಹೋರಾಟಗಾರರು. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ದ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಮಹಾತ್ಮ ಗಾಂಧಿಯ ಒಬ್ಬ ಆತ್ಮೀಯ ಸ್ನೇಹಿತರಾಗಿದ್ದರು. ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಲೆಸನ್ ಆಂಡ್ರ್ಯೂಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್ಸ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದ ಬ್ಯೂಟಿ ಆಫ್ ಶಾಂತಿನಿಕೇತನ್. Andrews reveals his experience while he stayed in the ashram. He explained about the ashram, that is Shantiniketan. Here you can see the picture of Shantiniketan, also the picture of Rabindranath Tagore, who is the founder of Shantiniketan. Shantiniketan was founded by Rabindranath Tagore. What is Shantiniketan? Shantiniketan is a school with a difference, where students learn with great joy. ಇದು ಒಂದು ಶಾಲೆ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳು ತುಂಬ ಸಂತೋಷದಿಂದ ಕಲಿತಾ ಇದ್ರು. Students, before explaining the prose, let us study some new words and also the meaning. These words are there in your textbook, page number 4. First word is Gurudeva, means Rabindranath Tagore. Next, choristers, members who sing in the choir of a church. ಗಾಯಕರ ಗುಂಪು, ಚರ್ಚಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಡುವಂತಹ ಗಾಯಕರ ಗುಂಪು. Choir means a group of singers singing hymns. Choir ಅಂದರೆ ಪ್ರಾರ್ಥನೆಯನ್ನು ಹೇಳುವಂತಹ ಗಾಯಕರ ಗುಂಪು. Hymn, a song of praise to God, ಪ್ರಾರ್ಥನೆ. Amloki, a tree like a mango tree, ಮಾವಿನ ಮರದ ಹಾಗಿನ ಒಂದು ಮರ. Reverence, respect, ಗೌರವ. Meditate, to pray silently, ಧ್ಯಾನ. Meditate means ಧ್ಯಾನ. Draftman, a designer or one who makes plans. Draftman means a designer. ರಿಸೈಟ್, ಸಿಂಗ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಮೆಮೊರಿ. ಬಾಯಿಪಾಠ ಮಾಡುವುದು ಅಥವಾ ನೆನಪಿಸಿಕೊಂಡು ಹೇಳುವಂಥದ್ದು. These are the meaning for new words. So, now, dear students, open your textbook, page number 2. There is a prose, a day in the ashram. Now, I am reading and also I am explaining the prose. See page number 2, first paragraph. Words cannot picture to you the beauty of Shantiniketan. We cannot explain the beauty of Shantiniketan by words. ಶಬ್ದಗಳಿಂದ ಶಾಂತಿನಿಕೇತನದ ಸೌಂದರ್ಯವನ್ನು ಹೇಳಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅಸಾಧ್ಯ. Our own poet and teacher, whom we call Gurudeva, has named it in his song, The Darling of Our Hearts. Our own poet and teacher means Rabindranath Tagore explained Shantiniketan in his song, The Darling of Our Hearts. And it is worthy of the name. ಆ ಹೆಸರು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಯೋಗ್ಯವಾದದ್ದು. And it is worthy of the name. All who have visited the ashram, old and young alike, have felt its inner beauty growing more and more upon them. All who have visited the ashram. ಯಾರೆಲ್ಲ ಆಶ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಭೇಟಿ ನೀಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಇಟ್ ಮೇ ಬಿ ಓಲ್ಡ್ ಆರ್ ಯಂಗ್. These two are the opposite word. Old, opposite word, young. Have felt its inner beauty growing more and more upon them. ಯಾರೇ ಆಶ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಭೇಟಿ ಕೊಡಲಿ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿನ ಸೌಂದರ್ಯ ಅನ್ನೋದು ತುಂಬ ಸಂತೋಷವನ್ನು ನೀಡ್ತದೆ. Second paragraph. If I were to describe to you one day in the ashram with the boys, that would perhaps best bring home to you its inner beauty. Here C.F. Andrews explains about the Shantiniketan, where he stayed one day. He explains his experience in that ashram. How was Shantiniketan? What are the activities of the Shantiniketan? Long before sunrise, like the birds in our own amloki groves, our boys are awake. Before sunrise, the students of Shantiniketan awake. The choristers are the first to rise. Choristers are the first to rise. ಬೇಗ ಹೇಳುವುದು ಆ ಗಾಯಕರ ಗುಂಪು. And they go round the ashram, singing their morning hymn. ಅವರು ಆಶ್ರಮದ ಸುತ್ತ ತಿರುಗ್ತಾ ತಮ್ಮ ಬೆಳಗಿನ ಪ್ರಾರ್ಥನೆಯನ್ನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. You can hear the voices in the distance, drawing nearer and nearer. You can hear the voices in the distance, drawing nearer and nearer. And then the sound dies away as the choir passes on to another part of the ashram. And then again it comes nearer and nearer. ಆ ಸಂಗೀತ ಹೇಳೋರು ದೂರ ಹೋದ ಹಾಗೆ ನಿಧಾನಕ್ಕೆ ಕೇಳ್ತದೆ. ಹಾಗೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಶ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದ ಕೂಡಲೇ ಹತ್ತಿರ ಬಂದ ಕೂಡಲೇ ಜೋರಾಗಿ ಕೇಳ್ತದೆ. The beauty of the sound in the silent morning air and the sense of joy and reverence which it brings give peace to the soul. ಅಲ್ಲಿನ ಸೌಂದರ್ಯ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಆ ಸೈಲೆಂಟ್ ಮಾರ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಏರಲ್ಲಿ ಸಂತೋಷ ಮತ್ತು ಗೌರವವನ್ನು ನಮಗೆ ನೀಡ್ತದೆ. ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಅಲ್ಲ, ನಮ್ಮ ಆ ಮನಸ್ಸಿಗೆ ಶಾಂತಿಯನ್ನು ನೀಡ್ತದೆ. ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಆನ್ ಇಂಟರ್ವಲ್ ಈಚ್ ಬಾಯ್ ಟೇಕ್ಸ್ ಹಿಸ್ ಆಸನ್, his square of carpet, into the fields and sits down on it to meditate in his own place alone. After the interval, boys takes yogasan. ಆ ಇಂಟರ್ವಲ್ ಆದಮೇಲೆ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಯೋಗಾಸನವನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಲೇಟರ್ ಆನ್, ಬಿಫೋರ್ ದ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಬಿಗಿನ್ಸ್, the boys all stand together in the shade of the trees and sing their hymn. Later on, before the school work begins, ಶಾಲೆಯ ಕೆಲಸ ಪ್ರಾರಂಭ ಆದ ಕೂಡಲೇ ಆಗುವ ಮೊದಲು, ಬಿಫೋರ್, ಅಪೋಸಿಟ್ ವರ್ಡ್ ಆಫ್ಟರ್, the boys all stand together and sing a prayer under the tree. Till about 10:30, the work of the school goes on. We have no classrooms. There is no classrooms in the Shantiniketan. Shantiniketanalli classroom ಇಲ್ಲ. The boys sit with their teachers in the open air under the trees. ಮರದ ಕೆಳಗೆ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳು ಅವರವರ ಟೀಚರ್ ಜೊತೆ ಕುಳಿತುಕೊಳ್ತಾರೆ. ದೇರ್ ಆರ್ ನೋ ಲಾರ್ಜರ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸಸ್. ದೊಡ್ಡ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಅ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಆಫ್ 8 or 10 ಬಾಯ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಸೀಟೆಡ್ ರೌಂಡ್ ದ ಟೀಚರ್ ಆಸ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಹಿಮ್ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ಸ್. 8 or 10 ಬಾಯ್ಸ್ seated round the teacher and they are asking some questions with teachers. ಟೀಚರ್ ಸುತ್ತ 8-10 ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಯನ್ನು ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ವೆರಿ ಫ್ಯೂ ಬುಕ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಯೂಸ್ಡ್. ದೆರ್ ಈಸ್ ನೋ ಮಚ್ ಬುಕ್ಸ್, ಫ್ಯೂ ಬುಕ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಯೂಸ್ಡ್. ಅ ಗ್ರೇಟರ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾರಿಡ್ ಆನ್ ಥ್ರೂ ಕಾನ್ವರ್ಸೇಷನ್. ಹೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಭಾಗ ಮಾತುಕತೆಯಲ್ಲಿಯೇ ಮುಗೀತದೆ. ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಕೇಳೋದು, ಟೀಚರ್ ಉತ್ತರ ಹೇಳೋದು, ಹಾಗೆ. The boys soon learn to open out all their difficulties to their teachers. ತಮ್ಮ ಎಲ್ಲ ಡಿಫಿಕಲ್ಟಿಗಳನ್ನು, ಕಷ್ಟವಾದದ್ದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಸಹ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಮಕ್ಕಳು. ಟೀಚರ್ಸ್ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಆನ್ಸರನ್ನು ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದ ಟೀಚರ್ಸ್ ಗೆಟ್ ಕೀನ್ಲಿ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟೆಡ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಬಾಯ್ಸ್ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ಸ್. Such living education can never be dull. It is not a dull education, it is a living education. ಅಲ್ಲಿಯ ವಿದ್ಯಾಭ್ಯಾಸ ಡಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಒಳ್ಳೆಯ ಲಿವಿಂಗ್ ಎಜುಕೇಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಗ್ತದೆ. When the morning work is over, the boys bath and go to their meal. When morning classes are stopped, the boys bath and they go to their meal. About 2 o'clock in the afternoon, the classes begin again. At 2 o'clock, again the classes begin. But at this time, the work is chiefly with the hands as well as with the mind. Handiwork is practiced. In the afternoon, there is some handiwork is practiced. And the boys' own natural tastes are very soon discovered. Some prefer carpentry, others prefer mechanical work, others enjoy spinning and weaving, others become skilled draftsmen or painters, others are musicians. In afternoon, some learn carpentry, some mechanical work, some are enjoying in spinning and weaving, others become skilled draftsmen and some others are musicians. ಅವರವರ ಆಸಕ್ತಿಗೆ ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಅವರವರು ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಕೆಲಸಗಳನ್ನು ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಶಾಂತಿನಿಕೇತನದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಧ್ಯಾಹ್ನದ ನಂತರ. There is very little book work in the afternoon. There is no book work in the afternoon. ಆ ಮಧ್ಯಾಹ್ನದ ನಂತರ ಪುಸ್ತಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದೇ ಕೆಲಸ ಇರುವುದಿಲ್ಲ. School is over at about 4 o'clock. And then there is a rush to get first into the great open fields for football. School is finished at 4 o'clock. 4 ಗಂಟೆಗೆ ಶಾಲೆ ಮುಗೀತದೆ. ಆಗ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಗ್ರೌಂಡಿಗೆ ಆಟ ಆಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ. Our Shantiniketan boys are famous everywhere for their sports and games. Shantiniketan boys are famous for their sports and games. In the evening, at sunset, they return from the fields and sit down once more for a short time to meditate in silence. In the evening, after the sunset, again they all come together and sit down in a field, and again they are meditating. ಮತ್ತೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಹೊತ್ತು ಅವರು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಧ್ಯಾನವನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸಂಜೆ ಹೊತ್ತಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಸಹ ಮೆಡಿಟೇಟ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಧ್ಯಾನ. ಆಸ್ ನೈಟ್ ಕಮ್ಸ್, fairy tales are told, short dramas are recited, our Gurudeva's songs are sung, and different school gatherings are held. ಹಾಗೆ ರಾತ್ರಿಯಾದ ಕೂಡಲೇ there are some activities at the night also. They are telling some stories and reciting some dramas, and they sung some songs, and different types of school gatherings are held. By 9 o'clock, all are glad to retire to rest, and again the choristers go round the ashram singing their last evening hymn. At 9 o'clock, all are go to rest, and again the choristers sing a song. ಪುನಃ ಆ ಪ್ರಾರ್ಥನೆಯನ್ನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. There can be no question as to the happiness of the life of our boys. Our boys are very happy. There is no question about it. Their faces tell the story of their joy and their freedom. In Shantiniketan, they have freedom. There is no freer life in India than the life of our children at Shantiniketan. This is about the Shantiniketan. Dear students, once again read the whole prose and try to understand this.